Yes, you're home of team.
We now cross for a live telecast of the Mitsubishi Motors VFA match of the day.
Well, I think that our side will be the most committed side on the day, and I believe that, that in these conditions, it's very heavy out there at the moment, and naturally the pace that we've got and the fitness and so on is not going to be as an advantage as you know, as it may have well been on good conditions. But I believe that our side is capable of adapting to the conditions better than the opposition, and that's what we're relying on. I think we've got the skill and the ability to take the game out.
Well, very briefly, why do you think Coburg's going to win today?
I'd like to think that our form's been good enough to carry us through. I think winning 11 on end is good enough credentials to win the game, but I think that it's going to be a tough game. It should be tight.
And it's great to be back on VFA football. Welcome to the Battle of the Border today between Preston and Coburg, being played out here at the Preston Oval. At the moment we have the seconds playing in very muddy conditions, but we're looking forward to a great game in First Division. Now Coburg have won their last 11 matches, and they should be a great team against the Preston side. Preston have had a downer over the last month or so, and they're looking forward to getting into second place in First Division to take off that second chance. Anyway, Bruce McAvaney is here with us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Bruce.
Hi, Phil. It should be a very good game. Of course, we saw a lot of Preston last year. They're the premiers from the last two seasons. They won a string of games towards the end of last year, and as you said, Coburg's in great form. We both saw that game last week. Coburg against Sandringham. They played very well, and I'm expecting a close, tough encounter. Well,
I'm expecting a little more than a close, tough encounter. I'm expecting fireworks. We've already seen it out here in the seconds.
Yes, I think if we'd been telecasting the seconds live, we would have seen some action. I'm sure that in the main match today, we're going to see just the same sort of action.
Well, also, Bruce, we have with us that former all-round football. I say all-round because he's formerly Richmond, Geelong, Sandringham. Anywhere else, Rex?
Yes, I had 3 seasons with St Kilda, if you remember, Phil.
Right.
Was it probably a bit far back for you to remember? Good afternoon to everybody. I just can't imagine why you say this. We're looking forward to fireworks. The VFA is renowned for skillful football. Why don't you come out here today for the skillful football? All you want to do is introduce violence to the football. I think today will be a very tough encounter. I believe the best side will win, the side that goes in first for the ball. I'm going to select Preston to start their build-up towards the finals. Coburg, I believe, will go down today, but they are worthy finals contenders. I think the next 6 weeks is going to be brilliant for VFA promotion and promote their community football.
Yes, certainly, Rex. Rex Hunt was the gentleman speaking with us there, and I'm looking forward to skill and to ability and also fireworks in the game here today. Bruce McAvaney.
Well, it's interesting that Rex has gone for Preston. Ian Gibbs, of course, is our statistician. Welcome back, Ian. And Rex thinks that Preston will start their build-up to the finals with a win. Statistically, who do you feel will win?
Well, I don't think we should count out any side. Both have had particularly successful seasons. Coburg to this point have had 14 wins for only 2 losses. Preston 13 wins for 3 losses. So both have had very good seasons. And Coburg, of course, have a 14-goal defeat to avenge from the first round. Played at Coburg, Preston beat Coburg by 14 goals back in round 4. I think it'll be Preston, mainly because of the home ground advantage.
Well, there we have it, Phil. Rex and Ian both going for Preston.
And who do you select, Bruce?
I think Coburg will win. I was very impressed with them last week.
I was impressed with them last week. We both saw the game out there against Sandringham. But this will be my first encounter with Preston, and I think we'll wait until after the first quarter before making a selection.
Sitting on the fence.
No, I have the feeling that Coburg If Cleary had been playing, I would say Coburg, but now that he's out, and Rex Hunt will tell us more of that a little later on, I've got a bit of a leaning towards Preston. Anyway, let's go over to the Preston coach for more detail on the game, and we have Tony Banks talking with Peter Waitman.
The last time the Bull Ants beat Coburg, they won by 15 goals. Coach Peter Waitman must make you reasonably confident to win today, although it's a little bit different.
Well, that was a long time ago, and you know, a lot of things have happened in the meantime. We've had some losses, and we've had some ups and downs. But as it's shown through the VFA season this year, all the sides that have been up there on the top have had their lapses, and we're hoping that our lapses are behind us, and we're going to play well today. Our side's an average age of 22, and I think we've got youth on our side and enthusiasm, and I think that'll help us a lot.
Coburg are on top now, and for Preston, it's vitally important you get the double chance.
Oh, it's most important in final series to have the double chance, because you know, finals are a different season, and I think the season for us starts today. It's more or less a qualifying final for us today, and it's very important, and our players know what's at stake.
Any late changes?
No, at this stage, the team will be as selected. The 16 players that were selected in the side will play in the team at the start.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, a moment ago we heard from Peter Waitman giving his views on why his team should win today. Right now, let's take you over to the captain and coach of the Coburg side, who will not be playing today, and he'll probably say a little more about that. We take you to Phil Cleary.
Phil Cleary, that wouldn't exactly please you too much to know that Preston were the last thing to beat you and beat you comfortably.
Well, the boys are very conscious of the fact that it was a 12-goal loss. We certainly haven't forgotten it. Sandy had beaten us the game before, and we had a chance to even up the score, and we've done that with Sandringham, and we had to even up the score with Preston today.
Yeah, you haven't got your gear on. The game starts in a couple of minutes' time. Could be some bad news for Coburg fans.
Yes, unfortunately, I've got a bit of a slight hamstring, so I won't be able to take the field. It's a bitter blow. Actually, it would have been great to be back on the tally.
Who's looking forward to coming into this team at your absence?
Peter Dalglish, who's played quite a few games, played in the finals in '82, will be on the interchange bench today.
It's vital for Preston to get the double chance. They're going to try and knock Coburg off today. They've got a home ground advantage. You want to hold top spot.
We certainly want to get the double chance, because it means one game and you're into the grand finals, into the premiership stakes. So we'll be pretty keen. I think we'll promise them a pretty tough encounter. Be a nice physical game.
Right, and here we have the umpires out on the ground, and the field umpires for today, Brian Oakley and Murray Black. They're the two field umpires. Boundaries are F. Donnelly and Sevens, and the goal umpires Mills and Lindsay. Now, just looking at the ground, Rex Hunt, it looks pretty heavy. I was out here on Thursday night, and we've had all that rain. It's a lot heavier than Thursday night, but we have two, as you say, pretty skillful teams here today.
Yes, having played on this game, on this ground 2 or 3 seasons ago in similar conditions, Phil, it does look a lot worse in places than what it is. You'll find in the pockets and flanks that you will get into it 2 or 3 inches in the old scale, but right down the centre of the ground, it is very firm. Now, the goal squares are very good, and I think for the team to play direct football today, they are going to really reap the benefit of going straight down the middle.
Right, and now let's have a look at the teams as selected on Thursday night. And first of all, we'll take the Preston side as they're about to come out onto the ground. Coburg, I can hear booing from the crowd, so I would assume it's Coburg about to come out. There's the Preston side. Where are the changes, Rex?
Well, you'll find that Lumachisi, Hart and Anderson did take their place in the second, so they have completed their game and they drop off the interchange bench. And you'll find that Marcon and Plowman, two very experienced players for the interchange bench and not bad calibre of players, will take the interchange bench for Preston.
Yes, Adrian Marcon is renowned for his high marking. I remember one year he was runner-up in the mark of the year contest. He's only a small fellow, but he can get very, very high indeed. Now let's have a look at the Coburg side, and we do have changes here with the captain and coach, Phil Cleary, being out.
Yes, well, Phil just told us with that interview with Tony Banks that he's got a hamstring and he has to drop out. That's disappointing, but it's good insurance for the finals. Dalglish has taken his place in the selected side.
Right, now let's have a look first of all at the First Division ladder. And it's quite interesting today. We call this the Battle of the Border because you have Coburg in second position and Preston in third.
Yes, well, this is a game, really, that could decide the double chance. Sandringham deserved clear favouritism, but went under last week to a very enthusiastic and young Coburg side with Marshall in brilliant form down at full forward. This today will probably decide second place in the VFA, and I think it's important to have that, just that little bit of a chance up your sleeve, Phil.
If Preston get beaten today, that'll mean every team in the 4, or the 3 others in the 4 have beaten them. And also the team in 5th position, Williamstown as well.
I think you'll find too that Preston's percentage could play a big part in that second position, Phil.
Right, second division now, and we'll have the important results coming through in those matches throughout the day. Oakley on top with Brunswick, Sunshine, Moorabbin, and Caulfield just out on 1 game. They've got a better percentage there than Moorabbin. The other matches being played today in 1st division in and around Melbourne. Let's check those off in a moment as we await the teams to come out on the ground. I notice the Coburg side has put down their banners, so there must be some delay, but let's check them, Bruce.
Yes, Phil, Geelong West are playing Campbell. We can see there Paran against Port, Sandringham against Springvale, Williamstown, Werribee, Geelong West, Camberwell, and Box Hill against Frankston.
Righto, and while we wait on the teams to come out onto the ground, let's take this break. And now here we have the Coburg side coming out onto the ground, led by their Deputy Vice Captain in Mick Laidler. Quite a big banner for them to go through, and there they go, the Coburg side, and not far behind them we have the Preston side about to emerge onto the ground here. A heavy ground at Preston, and there the Preston side have moved out onto the ground. And in a moment we'll be going down for the toss of the coin. We have Tony Banks down on the ground, and we'll have the toss of the coin. Mick Laidler coming across for that toss, and I think the other player will be Mick Warren to take the toss for the Preston side. OK, now down to Tony Banks.
Thank you very much, Phil. The toss about to be given by Murray Black, the umpire, and to call we have Mick Warren from the Preston camp and Mick Laidler from Coburg. Who's calling, fellas? Coburg calls tail. It's stuck right in the mud. They're kicking to the city end. Preston going to the market end. Back to you.
Righto, Tony, and the market end is to the left of the screen. That's to the left. To the right is the city end, the Melbourne city end of the ground. Now let's check on the weather. The official forecast, cool and cloudy with a few showers. It's currently 11 degrees and the expected top is 14 degrees. And to you, Bruce, great to be back in VFA again. Very enthusiastic out here, aren't they? The crowds and the teams.
They've got a lot to be enthusiastic about, I think, Phil. Preston have had such a great run over the last couple of years, having won the last 2 premierships. And whilst we're talking about the weather, it's just an ideal day for football. It's cool, but no real breeze. And I think that must be one of the trainers for Preston, I think. No, the umpire's trainer, Gibbsy. So there we are. We have the umpire's trainer. But, Rex, it really is a great day for football with not much breeze and overcast, perfect football conditions.
I think it's perfect for this lead up to the finals, Bruce. I really believe that there's not much between the 3 top teams in Sandringham, Coburg and Preston. I firmly believe that finally the best side on the day will win because the conditions are brilliant for football. Brilliant for the people prepared to put themselves in first for the ball, and I think this will suit the real goers here today. I expect a real good game here at Preston today.
Yeah, and the umpire's having a female trainer. Well, they've got to be different, I suppose. They didn't have them in your day, Rex.
No, they weren't allowed to be there, Phil, of course. Equality now, you've got to understand that. That's what it's all about. Didn't they tell you about that?
I do understand it.
It's not fishermen, it's fisher people.
That's right. All right, we're just waiting now on the umpires to signal to the timekeepers. This umpire, Murray Black, will come in for the bounce of the ball. I think he'll be throwing it up anyway. Ruckman are setting themselves. Keenan is number 1. See Halbert out there, Gary Halbert. He's been playing with the Coburg side for some time. Number 13 is Mansfield of Coburg. 15 of Coburg is Sholden, and there's a little bit of jostling going on already over here on the flank. Salvador and also Angwin having a little bit of shoulder to shoulder. They're keen, and umpire Brian Oakley coming down the field now as they're starting into it already here. And Rex, you haven't seen any of the skill yet.
We're just waiting for a little bit of skill. You've seen a bit of skill there from the umpires who are breaking up the fight, Phil.
Well, VFA is back on Channel 10 again. And this is shades of a few years ago. Remember Frosty Miller kicking a goal before they bounced the ball. There was a bit of a yike in the centre of the ground, and the umpire ran up, gave Frosty the ball, Bruce, and he kicked the goal before they really started.
Well, I think Neil Jordan would have liked that to have happened at centre-half forward then against Nimmo. That's going to be one of the great duels today.
Yes.
Salvador and England will be a good one as well.
Well, the two former players you mentioned, that's Jordan and Nimmo, they've been around for a fair while. They know what it's all about. There goes the siren, and we're about to get underway for the big game, the Battle of the Borders between Preston and Coburg. And on the bounce, it's knocked wide by Keenan. Umpire blowing the whistle, picks a free out of it, and it will be taken by Zanin of Coburg. Zanin's right in the mud patch in the centre there, has the chance to put them right up into attack. That's to the southern end of the ground. Kick drops a little bit short, but drops well enough for the mark to be taken by Brian Allison of Coburg. Allison, I don't think would be within scoring range. He's got a lead. He's gone for the short pass, and that's gone out between the left half forward flank and centre half forward, and the player to take it is Zanin. So Zanin within scoring range now. Goes for that long kick. It's not a bad one. We'll drop that fraction short. Up they go for it. Nearly a mark taken in the centre of the pack by Laidler. But the umpire, I think, will come in and ball it up. Laidler's the player dragging himself up off the ground. And this is umpire Black. And again, Keenan gets the knockout. It goes well wide and will go through for 1 point. So there's the first score of the match. 1 minute after the commencement of play. On the Mitsubishi scoreboard, we have Coburg 1 point and Preston have yet to score. On the kick-off, it comes right up here, wide of the centre of the ground. Players race in after it, taken away by Allison. Oh, he's having a bit of trouble holding his feet there. Came through in the direction of Jordan, who was pulled down to the ground. Picked up here by White. White couldn't break away for Preston. A hand pass out of the pack to Fremantle. Comes across eventually to be taken away this time by Edwards of Coburg. Up towards Halbert, and Halbert now from the right half forward flank bangs it in towards the goals over the head of the pack and will be forced through, I think, by Mansfield coming in. Now he's kept it in play, Mansfield. Under pressure, pushes it wide, and here's the opportunity for Preston to clear through the agency of Yeomans. He gets it to the half-back line. The umpire blowing the whistle as the mark has been taken out there for Coburg. Well, I think they're signalling it behind. That must have been scored earlier when it was in the pack down there and play was allowed to continue. So it will be a kick-off. I thought it had gone through, Bruce, and then when they started to play on, I took it for granted that they hadn't scored.
Took some time to get that ball back. Yes, that was the one that Mansfield was trying to retrieve. So McCann will bring the ball back in for Preston. They're trailing by 2 points. Coburg doing the attacking in the early stages of the game. Jordan, who's playing well up from centre half forward. Strong tackle by Coburg on Jordan, and it's going to be against Jordan holding the ball, and a 15-metre penalty as well, which is going to give the Coburg player Wayne Tulloch a great chance. There's a fight on at centre half forward, another blue at centre half forward. So we've had some drama in the first 5 minutes of this game, not a lot of scoring, but Tulloch with a chance from about 35 to 40 metres out. Now Tulloch was on the interchange bench, got his chance because Cleary dropped out. He's formerly from Collingwood. He's only 19 years of age, Tulloch. He played with the under-19s. Drop punt, good kick. Excellent kick, goal. Coburg lead 1-2. Preston yet to score.
On the Mitsubishi scoreboard, we have Coburg 1-2 and Preston have yet to score. Here's play going wide of the centre. A mark being taken by Allison of Coburg. He immediately plays on, left foots it up towards the half